A few days ago, some news spread around the guitar community that a well-known pedal manufacturer, Origin Effects, was bullying a smaller company. Revival Electric made this statement on their Instagram, and I'd like to read it out for you. Dear friends, just a heads up on Origin Effects and their business practices. I feel an obligation to share my experience with this company and offer a warning to others in the pedal community. For the last 12 plus years, as a sole owner / operator of Revival Electric here in the Bay Area, I've offered amp services and sales of EQ and vocal pedals, all designed and built by myself. About 18 months ago, Origin Effects blindsided me with legal action after they found out their Revival Drive pedal was denied for a trademark. Instead of reaching out or changing their naming practices, they decided to go after me. With a team of lawyers, they have filed false allegations to get the trademark office to strip me of this name, even doubling down during the peak of the pandemic with more malicious and aggressive claims. In my opinion, this is all an attempt to help shield them from potential lawsuits since they are illegally using Revival, which infringes on my registered trademark. This week they are forcing me to give a 7-hour deposition, also known as interrogation by their attorneys, in their latest attempt to drum up any evidence. They are using the law to inflict as much undue burden as possible in order to exhaust me and escape any consequence for their illegal actions. I feel like the community should know what kind of a company they're supporting, and how much of that $700 pedal is going to lawyers trying to put small builders out of business in order to cover their mistakes. While I just want to lay low and design circuits, I can't remain silent about these guys any longer. I love this community. It has given me immense satisfaction over the years to carve out a space in an industry that combines doing creative and technical work with the goal of adding something to music production. I also feel an immense sense of gratitude when I think of all your support over the last 12 plus years. While these legal proceedings have been taxing, I still plan on designing and putting out unique circuits that hopefully elevate the creativity of this community. Thanks. Now, when I first saw this, I thought, great, another Gibson, trying to stomp on the little guy and using a team of lawyers to do so. But upon further inspection, I don't think that's the case here. Upon my second reading, something stood out to me. Some of that statement felt a little bit vague, and other bits felt as if it was trying to elicit an emotional response, and if that was the case, well, it worked, with plenty of people leaving irate and angry comments on Origin's social media pages, calls to boycott the company and so on. With that in mind, please don't contact either party after watching this video. If you feel you want to say something, use the comments to do that, and leave it at that. Anyway, Revival did tell us to look at the court documents, but I don't think very many people did before forming an opinion. So let's have a quick overview of them. Links to them in the description. In 2010, Revival Electric applied for the trademark Revival Electric. He was and is a one-man operation, building pedals and repairing and servicing amplifiers. In 2018, Origin Effects released the Origin Drive, a highly advanced and very expensive drive pedal. They attempted to trademark this name, but their application was denied by the trademark office in fear that it would cause confusion with the already existing trademark of Revival Electric. Origin Effects disputed that it would cause confusion and won, but then the office revoked that decision and they couldn't use the trademark anymore. This was in 2019, and it seems that they then started to look into the legitimacy of the mark that was stopping them, the Revival Electric trademark. And they do seem to have fairly strong grounds on this. The Revival Electric trademark is listed as electronic effects pedals for use with sound amplifiers, guitar amplifiers. In 2019, Origin started an investigation, in which it found no evidence of any products being available under the Revival Electric mark. They then had an investigation conducted in 2019, which confirmed that no effects pedals or guitar amplifiers were available for sale on Revival's website. They also found that the most recent activity on Revival's social media account was on September 2nd, 2018, and then there was evidence that in December 2017, an anonymous blog post stated that they couldn't get in contact with Revival through emails, and that the investigator also couldn't get in contact with a Revival through email or phone. There are certain requirements for trademark in commerce, and one of them is bona fide sales. There's no official number, but it's a substantial amount of sales, and this is important because if there wasn't a substantial amount of sales, you could make one product, sell one product, and have a list of trademarks as long as your arm. And equally, if you only sold a few things, Is the trademark valuable enough to warrant actually trademarking it? It seems that Revival Electric had sporadic and very limited sales over the years. At most, 2 pedals were sold in 2009, 2 in 2010, 3 in 2011, 21 in 2012, 9 in 2013, 7 in 2014, 7 in 2015, 15 in 2016, 48 in 2017, and 9 pedals were sold in 2018. The evidence showed no sales from July 10th, 2009 to November 2010, and no sales from May 18th, 2018 until 2020. There were no more than 10 pedals sold during 2020. So there's grounds for abandonment, and that doesn't really come across as the bullying that it's kind of being made out to be. There's also arguably the more serious claim that half the mark wasn't really ever used, as it's worded as if it's for effects pedals and amplifiers. And though Revival has never sold an amplifier, they do repair them, although there's evidence found in Discovery that suggests that this wasn't in very substantial numbers either. Origin might be going a little bit hard on Revival with the accusations of fraud, but then again there is a case to be made. If there was a misrepresentation in bad faith and knowingly while applying for the trademark, then it questions the legitimacy of them even having the trademark in the first place. Ultimately, it's a question for the courts to decide. There's compelling arguments on both sides, and I would recommend you look at the court documents before picking a side. Either way though, this doesn't seem like a frivolous lawsuit with baseless claims. So far, we've only heard one side of the story through Revival Electric's statement, so I reached out to Origin Effects for a statement, and this is what they said. Hello, thank you for giving us the opportunity to comment. We strongly disagree with Revival Electric's depiction of events. We are preparing a more detailed response to this matter, and will share this with you as soon as possible. Thank you for your support, Origin Effects. Okay, a quick update. Just a few minutes ago, Origin released their official statement, so I'm going to read that out to you as well. As the founder of Origin Effects, I have been saddened by the recent events that have led to inaccurate reports on social media about our trademark dispute. This situation is not as portrayed, a case of big fish, little fish. Origin Effects is a small, relatively new company of guitar enthusiasts. We employ 11 people in a small market town in the English Midlands. We are not a huge corporation with a team of lawyers. Trademarks are part and parcel of running and protecting a growing business. This brings a level of complexity that inevitably creates friction from time to time. In our industry, by and large, people are pragmatic, and conflict can be avoided. One such situation has been framed by Revival Electric to portray us in a poor light. I want to assure you that, as always, there are 2 sides to every story. When our trademark application in the USA was rejected, we followed standard protocol, with the aim of either rebranding or finding a coexistence agreement where both parties happily operate alongside each other. Our repeated efforts to make contact with Revival Electric yielded no response. Given that Revival Electric's website appeared to be dormant, we felt it was reasonable to continue with the efforts to register the name. Only by starting a formal process were we able to make contact with Revival Electric, at which point we attempted to negotiate a settlement, including an offer to rebrand our products. Unfortunately, things escalated beyond our control when Revival Electric demanded royalty fees on all sales of Revival products that we were unable to meet. We felt that Revival Electric were attempting to unscrupulously profit from their trademark. With the threat of legal action against us, we had no choice but to continue with the US trademark dispute system for a resolution. There is no lawsuit against Revival Electric. These facts have been omitted from Revival's portrayal of events. I want to say a huge thank you to all of our fantastic customers and artists around the world. Your continued support means a great deal during this difficult time. Simon Keats, Origin Effects. Alright, so that's all I have for you today. Subscribe if you'd like, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!